he's gone, she's gone. These words are quietly spoken to so many every day. March 2019 was a turning point for my husband and I. As we sat in our doctor's office, we were told of John's terminal illness, his diagnosis with terminal pancreatic cancer. I remember the tears flowing down my cheeks as the doctor held my hand and John sat in utter disbelief. How could God do this to us? And so our brief journey with cancer began until God called John home just 9 short weeks later. My dear husband, who had walked his journey in faith and hope, believing that God would heal him either here or in eternity, was now gone. I was now on my own. I was now a widow, and I was numb. The outpouring of support was tremendous during John's illness and his funeral. So many wanted us to know how well loved he was, and they wanted to support us. We couldn't have done it without them. After the funeral, and as everyone went back to their lives, the full impact of my loss and grief started. I felt so alone. Where was God when I needed him so much? Everyone returned to their normal lives, but I didn't have a normal life to go back to. I seriously wanted to join John. The grief was so intense. The first Sunday coming into church was incredibly difficult. It was always John and I went and I sat in the area where we would sit all the time. And I remembered the incredible sense of loss when I sat there alone. Not that people didn't want to come and sit with me, but I sat there because my husband wasn't there with me anymore. One day when I was at my lowest, I got on my knees and I asked God to help me. I said I couldn't walk this journey alone any longer, but knew that he really was with me. Slowly but surely, the intense grief started to lift. Each day felt a bit easier and I could see so many blessings, little blessings I didn't see before. Such a basic thing that we do, but it was such a blessing for me. I was able to get up and get dressed and face the day. That was a blessing. And then God brought people into my life to really encourage me and to go with me to the functions, the events that we were going to go to as a couple, so I didn't have to go alone. I began counseling with a wonderful Christian counselor who truly helped me. I spent a week with family at the cottage and I celebrated my first birthday without John on a weekend getaway with some of my small group family. As the months passed, it felt like the darkness around me was finally lifting. I was climbing out of that deep valley. However, that wasn't the case. In February of 2020, I again sat in front of a doctor alongside my dad and my mom, as we were told that my mom was diagnosed with terminal cancer. And so the intense journey of cancer treatment, oncology, caregiving started all over again, but this time for my dying mom. In June 2020, my dear mom and my greatest support took her final breath, and I heard the words, "She's gone." However, there was hope. As I held on to my faith in God, I was reminded of the hope that we have in him. I could thank God for lending me both John and Mom, and for the wonderful memories that I have. My faith gave me hope, and I needed it during the darkest nights and deepest valleys. You can't go over it, around it. You have to go through it. But it does get better, and I've been told that, and I can see that now. It does get better. But you hold on to the Lord, and you cry out to the Lord. It's the human part of you that you're dealing with. So you talk to the Lord. He knows what you're going through, and he will help you through.